Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get a bow with 10 spread shot. Which essentially means that when I pull this bow and fire an arrow, which I'm not going to, it'll only fire one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to corrupt it so it fires 10 at a time while only using one arrow. You may have seen something like this on a Yiga duplex bow. It fires 2 arrows at once, and it only consumes 1 arrow. First, we need to set up our file. The saves menu needs 1 manual save with everything I'm about to show you, and 1 autosave with the same stuff. This is important. The manual save you can always use to go back if you make a mistake. The autosave you can use, we need to use for the glitch. If you have a manual save that's from a much farther progressed file and you don't want to create a manual save, you don't have to. Just know that if you mess up, instead of starting over from right at the beginning when you can start corrupting the weapons, you have to start over after you load your game. You have to start over again if you want to do it again. That was really confusing. Just pretend I never said that. Yeah. And then as for materials, we have one-handed weapon. I'm using a soldier's broadsword I got from the Colosseum ruins. And then a bow. I'm using royal bow because it has pretty nice durability and it also does a pretty decent damage. I have 2 arrows here. You would normally think, how are you going to corrupt your bow if you have arrows? Well, the neat thing about this glitch is it actually helps corrupt your bow even without arrows, or even with arrows. I have a shield. I got this from the Gerudo area. Try not to pick up any pieces of armor. If you do, it's not the biggest thing in the world. I'm pretty sure you can just sell it. If you want to do hold prompt entanglement, you won't be able to do it with armor there. But even if this recipe doesn't require that, so you're lucky. If you do pick up a piece of armor, you can just sell it. Or if it's unsellable, well, then you gotta restart, sorry. 59 apples. I got these from Satori Mountain. We're going to need these for simmered fruit and a baked apple. 4 raw gourmet meat. This is going to be part of our recipe. And I got these from the Hebrew region. 4 garbage items. You're going to need these to generate offset slots. 1 verification item. You're going to need these to make sure that your offset slots worked. And a fairy. Also part of our recipe. No food. And the Sheikah Slate and the paraglider, of course. To start, head on over to Link's house. We need to use the cooking pot there. What you're going to do is you're going to hold one of the apples and cook 57 simmered fruit. That should leave you with a total of 3 slots at the end of your food area. So you should have 3 pages. 1, 2, 3 pages of food with 3 slots at the end. Wait for the thing to go away in the top right, because if you don't, it'll just keep popping up. If you've never cooked before, it'll pop up. But if you have, you should be fine. Also note that if the simmered fruit gets a critical cook, which means it does 4 hearts instead of 1, you're okay. You can keep proceeding on. It doesn't really matter. Now you can see that I'm cooking all of these manually. Theoretically, you could create an autosave and then keep reloading that after creating offset slots to duplicate your simmered fruit. I'm not going to do that simply because it'll take too long and I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible. If you want to learn how to get surf up on a shield, you can go check out my last video. Speaking of surf up, you probably didn't know this, but it's actually not a modifier in the game. Technically it is, actually. Okay, so it was going to be something, and developers left it in the code, but never decided to actually add it. IST lets us bring that modifier back. In the video, you'll see that I actually got a shield with critical hit on it, and I was all confused. I didn't know what was happening. Well, what actually happens is because the game has no sprite for Surf Up, it just picks a random modifier. I might be wrong, but it picks a random modifier. It picks the modifier that's actually on the shield, depending on the food, I think. All I know is it picked a modifier, and it didn't actually give me that. It gave me Shield Surf Up. I tried it in a shrine. A normal Hylian Shield didn't go anywhere. It just stopped as soon as you hit the ground. But my Surf Up shield went for about 3 or 4 seconds before it stopped. Outside, I was in a bumpy terrain, and I kept going up and down the hills, probably for about 2 minutes straight. About half done. This same glitch can technically be done to get 999 Korok seeds. It can be done to duplicate items, grab the Bow of Light. IST pretty much has infinite possibilities. The glitches in Breath of the Wild are practically just mods at this point. Like, run without stamina, infinite hearts and stamina, custom weapon modifiers, you can fly. Like, what can't glitches in Breath of the Wild do? Oh, wait, I know. Skip the plateau. Actually, technically, this glitch can do that, because you can transfer the paraglider over to your main profile. But at that point, it's kind of useless, because you need an extra file to begin with. Alright, we're almost there. So because I had 59 apples to start, I'm going to have to stop cooking roughly when I get to 2 apples. If you accidentally cook more simmered fruit than you're supposed to, it's okay. Just eat the one you're not supposed to cook, pick up another apple, and be done with it. However, there is an apple tree behind Link's house, and we want to not pick an apple up off of that. We're going to need it for later, okay? Keep that in mind. Alright, we're in the single digits. Not too many left. I'm going to teach you my trick for making a baked apple in a campfire, or in a cooking pot. If you've played the game for a while, you probably know that it might be a little difficult getting the baked apple into the fire and not into the pot, because you keep trying to align it, and then if you drop it at the wrong angle, it just doesn't touch the fire at all. So I'm going to teach you my trick. Alright, this is the last one. What I like to do to cook the baked apple is step away from the pot so I don't accidentally throw it in. Stand on a bit of a slant. See 3 slots? Hold my apple. Set the throwing distance to far. And then chuck it in from all the way back here. Like this. And yeah, sometimes it does bounce off, but that's why I said to try and do it on a slope. Because then it'll casually roll in. There we go. See? Wait till it sets on fire, becomes a baked apple, and pick it up. You should have 57 simmered fruit and a baked apple. Next, cook your last apple. And now you need to cook your target meal. The one I'll be cooking is made with 4 raw gourmet meat and a fairy. This meal is great because not only does it give you 10-shot spread fire on a bow, but it also gives you 120 guard on a shield. By the way, in case you were wondering, I'm following this guide from El Duende 05's channel. I'll leave the link to his channel down in the description. He's pretty small, so the support could really help him. Now we have our meals prepared. 57 simmered fruit, a baked apple, another simmered fruit, and our meat skewer made with raw gourmet meat and a fairy. Now we actually have to start setting it up. Create an autosave. I like to do this by just going to the shrine in the area. Once the save is created, you want to go and break 4 slots. This means you want to go to the shop nearby, walk in, and equip your shield to start doing arrowless offsets. In case you didn't know, this is how you can do that. Pull out your weapon, press B, and then quickly unequip the shield. Jump and spawn a bomb, otherwise you'll cancel this. Throw it, and detonate it. Now that you're weapon smuggling, which essentially means you can hold a weapon while you sprint, paraglide, or climb walls, you can start with the glitch. Re-equip your shield, hold your 4 garbage items, and your verification item. Hold ZL, unequip your sword and re-equip it, jump, open the shield quick menu, and let go of ZL after, and then buffer the quick menu, which means letting go and pushing it again until Link starts putting the shield on his back. Unequip the shield, and all the items should be stuck to Link's hand. Walk up to the vendor, whistle, and then immediately press A. This is incredibly precise. You only have 1 frame, so try and do it as fast as possible. You can see I failed. This is actually really bad, because it means that I only have 1 choo-choo jelly and 1 egg. While I could buy another egg from over there, I still lost the choo-choo jelly. But, luckily, we have our autosave. Now, don't randomly load autosaves like I just did. Only because I haven't broken 4 slots yet could I do this without anything bad happening. So be careful, okay? Now that I'm here, run back to the shop. Walk in and repeat the process. I'm going to go a bit faster this time because I already told you how to do it. I actually didn't know that choo-choo jellies could break when they hit the ground. I thought it was only bird eggs and milk bottles. Okay, ready, and go. I think it worked. It did. Okay, so the reason I said this is a verification item is because if you fail, this won't be in the inventory at all. But if you succeed, then it'll say ×0. Sell the other 4 items. And what just happened is we broke 4 slots. It happened again. Okay, apparently it can do that. So what this essentially means is now that 4 offset slots have been created, we can proceed on with the next part of the glitch. What you're going to want to do now is load your first save after you equip a shield. So this is what our inventory looks like right now. Sword, bow, shield, no materials, our meals, and the 2 key items. Go ahead and load that autosave again. Now if we pause, you'll see that we have a soldier's broadsword, our bow, our unequipped shield, our materials before we started doing the offset slots, and the last 2 meals of our inventory were pushed to the front, corrupting these 2, which is what we want. Our next step is to load our original autosave. So there's our manual save, our autosave with the same stuff and the autosave we just made. Load the autosave with the same stuff as your manual save. This will move the baked apple and the corrupted baked apple and the simmered fruit over to your main profile. Main save. You'll know you did it right when this is what your inventory looks like. Soldier's broadsword, your bow, your shield unequipped, all the materials you had before you started, and your corrupted meals. As well as the 2 key items, which will never go away. The next step is to get rid of some things. So to do this, head to the shop. Walk in the door and talk to the vendor. There are actually quite a few things we need to sell. First, we need to get rid of 58 apples, leaving 1 left in our inventory. We'll need this to cook some more simmered fruit. Next, we need to sell our raw gourmet meat, all 4 of them, as well as the simmered fruit that was here before. So again, we sold our apples, except 1, our raw gourmet meat, and our simmered fruit. Next, head back to the cooking pot so we can cook more simmered fruit. Now, I made the mistake of choosing hearts over stamina, which I thought would help in the Hebrew region, and it did until I realized that my system was I would die and then save, and then reload the save, but I would only have 3 hearts left. So it was kind of useless. If you want, I suggest getting an extra stamina vessel instead of a heart container with the spirit orbs from the plateau. Next, use the apple to cook 1 more simmered fruit. This one was a crit. That's also okay. Anytime a simmered fruit becomes a crit, it's usually okay. Our next step is to actually break 5 more slots. This is the tricky part, because we need to break 5 slots without using a verification item. So run back to the shop. Buy 2 milk jars. And start the arrowless offset procedure again. This time, with no verification item. Link's hand went a little too high that time to be comfortable with it. So I'm going to reset. Thankfully, none of my items broke. I just realized that most of the time when people do IST offset slots arrowless, they're in the Hateno shop and throwing the bomb at these stairs. Poor stairs. Seriously though, how much health these stairs got? Like, okay, and actually turn the camera to the side. Gives for an easier view. That was way too high. Now I'm gonna bully the stairs again. Okay. I know I'm resetting a lot, but I don't think I'm doing it right. Oh, careful, don't blow up. No, seriously, don't blow up. It's really bad if you blow up. Come on, and... I think I did it that time. Okay, so now we need to drop our verification item, but not the fairy. Re-equip a shield, and walk over to this area. Next step is to drop our weapon and our bow. What this will do is it'll push them over to the end of the inventory. You can see here we have no weapons, no bows, except we have arrows still. We have our shield, our fairy, our baked apple, and our simmered fruit, and our key items. But if we keep scrolling right, we have another bows and arrows tab, and another weapons tab, and another bows and arrows tab, and shields and materials and food and key items. Actually, what I want to do is pick up the sword first, then the bow. And it should all be in the same inventory. Yep. Okay, so make sure you pick up the sword before the bow. Okay. The next step is to go and reload. What am I saying? Go and create another autosave. You can do this simply by walking over to the shrine. Pause. No, don't pause. Walk over to Link's house. Glide behind it. And use a bomb to detonate this tree here. And we want to pick up 7 apples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There will usually be 8 to 9 apples on this tree, so you should be fine. Walk back to the cooking pot. And now we'll get prepared. Before we start cooking, we need to do a few things. One of them being dropping some equipment and eating some food. The first thing you don't want to do is drop your shield. Eat your fairy. Your baked apple. And your simmered fruit. Drop both the sword and the bow. They will be back at the beginning now. And now we can start cooking our simmered fruit. You'll notice, when you get to your 4th simmered fruit, that something weird will happen. So that was 2. That was 3. And that was 4. As if by magic, all of the items in our inventory have disappeared, including key items. And now we have 2 food tabs as well. So, the easiest way to fix this is to pick up the shield, walk back to the cooking pot, hold an apple, cook it, and then redrop your shield. Now we keep cooking. Once we have done that, we want to reload our second autosave. So remember, original autosave, autosave 1, autosave 2. We want to reload autosave 2. What's important is that you don't pause when you get in. Actually, don't do anything. Don't pick up don't pick up any items, don't go into shrines, don't access the quick menus. Don't do anything that will cause Link to access his pouch. Right now, we want to wait 45 seconds before creating another autosave. Wait a bit, wait a bit, wait a bit. Keep waiting, and keep waiting. We're almost there. Just a few more seconds away. Personally, I like to wait about a minute, just in case. About 15 seconds left. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, the next step is to walk towards the shrine to generate another autosave. We'll call this autosave 3. Pause. Eat the baked apple. And reload the third autosave. You should notice, once we get in, that a few things will be corrupted. Including our arrow count. These should depend, I'm pretty sure, on the durability of some of the weapons you have. And our stack of baked apples, which is now at 999. Impressive. Except baked apples aren't really the best food source, so not impressive. The next thing we want to do is pick up 3 shields. Right now, we only have 1. We can find 3 shields all around town. The first one is on the dye shop. You can get to that by gliding down here, clipping through the banner for some reason, and picking up the rusty shield that's on top. The second one is a cooking pot, a cooking pot lid behind the cooking area in the village. The last one is right in front of us inside the inn. Walk up the stairs, through the door, turn right, not in there, into the kitchen, and there should be another pot lid. Now, you want to eat your fairy, and the simmered fruit. Careful you don't eat any baked apples. This is what we're left with. Sword, bow, and corrupted arrows. Our 4 shields, all with full durability. No materials, 999 baked apples, and our 2 key items. Next, we need to generate another autosave. This is why we all do IST in Hateno Village, because everything is conveniently located next to a shrine for autosaving. Why is the game lagging so much? Apparently having 6,000 arrows lags the game. Wait for it to fully save. You'll know that happened when the saving icon disappears. And reload autosave 4. Oh, don't manual save. That would have been a disaster. Pause the game, and there you go. A royal bow with shield guard up 120. Just to be safe, remove it and re-equip it. And now it should shoot 10 arrows at once. There they go. Look at them fly. This is possible with your corrupted arrows as well. Now no enemy can stand in your way. This is great for eliminating large hordes without too much effort. If you shoot it downward, you can see that it has an extremely wide range of attack. To keep this, what you're going to want to do is create another autosave. You can do this by walking towards the shrine. Actually, you're going to want to jump into the village first. Eat 10 arrows. Oh, yeah. Wide range of attack. And watch out for lag when using things like bomb arrows. Then walk back up to the shrine, and hopefully it should. It didn't. Alright, if all else fails, campfire. Hopefully this should create a save. It did. Perfect. Alright. And the final step is simply close your game and reopen it. Load your new autosave. Try not to load any save before that. Otherwise, you might risk losing your brand new bow. Actually, I have a question. Can someone tell me in the comments what happens if you try to durability transfer durability from the bow of light to an actual bow? Do you get infinite durability, or do you get an instantly breaking bow? And that's it. Your new corrupted bow, corrupted arrows, corrupted baked apples, and your everything else is here to stay forever. Moving this over to an actual profile is also pretty easy. First, you want to gather enough materials to cover offset slots up until your bow. You want to be careful, because if you transfer the bow, you should transfer the arrows as well, because the bow comes after the arrows. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to teach you how. Generate enough offset slots. If you did it exactly the same as me, you should only need 1, 2, 3, 4 slots. 4, 5, 6 slots. You should only need... Wait a minute. Both... Okay, sorry. Arrows can be duplicated, so you'll want 8 slots. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once you generate 8 slots, drop all your shields and reload your preferred save. Both the baked apples and the bow, as well as the corrupted arrows, should transfer over into your profile. I actually wouldn't mind having duplicate stacks of arrows because they are corrupted and you have infinity. As long as you're not holding them when you open a chest, then you shouldn't get reset back to 999 of that type of arrow. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Subscribe for more, because I'm definitely going to be covering more stuff on IST later. For now, enjoy lagging the game with thousands upon thousands of bomb arrows. Nuke to your heart's content. See you later.